Broadcasting almost live from the DEADPIT Studios in beautiful downtown Prestonsburg, Kentucky. It's the mWo podcast on Patreon, hosted by the DEADPIT Boys. Oh, shucky ducky, quack quack.
Howdy, folks, and welcome. It's the January 5th edition of the Midweek Obliteration on Patreon, Uncle Bill. It's 2022. What say you?
It's a new year. I think we've all heard the New Year's jokes about as much as we can fucking handle. Oh, it feels like I ain't seen you in a fucking year. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Probably the biggest announcement over the last couple of weeks when it comes to titles was announced yesterday. From the Second Sight Films, we knew they were working on this. They'd made a couple of announcements last year on it. An update on The Hitcher from 1986, which is a movie that we've kind of championed for years and years and years. Says, Happy New Year, everyone. And to kick off 2022, we have some exciting news on The Hitcher. We have tracked down the original camera negative. Thanks to Warner's archive team for allowing us access. We will be doing a full restoration for a 4K and Blu-ray release later this year.
That's a movie another one that I probably watched 100 times when I was a kid. I don't know why. I think HBO probably had that on, like a permanent loop or something, because I can just remember seeing that movie a lot when I was younger. And even then, I think I realized that Rutger Hauer was awesome in that movie. I think that thought dawned on me.
That's just a great movie, and I'm really excited to see what this film will look like all cleaned up, too.
Yeah, me too.
Because we've never seen that. The Blu-ray that's out, I think it was a German Blu-ray, that was remastered from a 35mm print, and it still looked pretty good. But for years and years, we'd always heard that the original source material for this movie's been lost, which is weird because it's a pretty legendary movie at this point. You know, it had a remake. I would consider it a classic. To me, it's almost one of those movies that it doesn't have a particular genre.
No.
I mean, it's a road movie. It's kind of a horror movie. It's a kind of a stalk and slash type deal too, all rolled up into one. But I am so glad that Second Sight's doing it, and it's going to be out soon. I'm really looking forward to it. I remember actually showing Sarah the movie last year, and she really liked it a lot too, which kind of surprised me. And it'd been a while since I'd seen it, but it's just a good movie. I mean,
yeah, if you take away
genres.
Yeah, if you take away any of the genres or anything, it's just a well acted and written movie, and actually pretty well choreographed and stuff too. Just everything about it, like the set pieces and the acting, and there's only 3 actors in that movie really. If you break it down, I mean, there's a couple people that come and go, but it's a very tight kind of film, and you look at it too. And there's only a couple of places it takes place. It's kind of like Steven Spielberg's Duel, or a movie like that. You know, most of it takes place on the road and then in a sheriff's office. But
I don't know what it is. I have always loved road action movies, that genre, like Crazy Asses on the Highway, like Joyride is another one.
Yeah,
and Breakdown was one that we watched again not too long ago that I think is a severely underrated movie to this day. I mean, that one, I mean, it came out in a weird time too, though. I think it came out in 98. So if it was one of those movies that came out maybe in the early 90s with a lot of those other action movies, it may be a little bit more well known. I don't know. But
yeah, it's weird. It's weird that movie is like that too, that it's not as well known.
Right. And then we were talking about this the other night too. The villain in that movie, J.T. Walsh, I think was his name in Breakdown. And he passed away not long after that movie came out, which is kind of crazy too. But yeah, that one still holds up. I really, really enjoy Breakdown, and I'm excited that the Hitcher is finally getting a decent home video release. Actually going to be more than decent. It's going to be great. I'm positive.
Only thing I'm worried about is like it's going to be, I'll buy it. I'm just going to be honest with you, like no matter what it is, but it's going to be probably $60 to $70, if not more than that.
Well, if they charge $70 for the guest, I can guarantee you it's going to be at least $70.
Yeah.
Because people have been wanting this forever. I mean, here in the United States, the last release of this was that HBO DVD that came out over 20 years ago.
I think I have that too out there in the garage.
Yeah, and then the chances of HBO ever doing anything with it here, it's just not. I don't think that'll ever happen. It's on HBO Max, right? Didn't somebody say it was on there?
It probably is. I haven't looked for it or anything.
Yeah. So.
But that's just a movie, man. It's one of those movies where you wonder what the hell happened that it took that long to get anything done with it. You're talking about like the film elements, but that movie was made in, what was that, like 85, 86 or something like that? 86. Maybe later than that, yeah. And like, I mean, they should have had the film elements for that. We're not talking about something that was made in the 60s or 70s, like Jesus.
No, and this was out in theaters. HBO, I think HBO has some source material here in the U.S. They just don't want it. They don't play with anybody else. It's like it's us or fuck you all. But this release is going to kick ass. It could possibly be the release of the year. So we'll see.
Depending on what they do.
I know they've been working on the extras and stuff like that for a long time. Unfortunately, Rutger Hauer's no longer with us to do any sort of commentary or documentary or anything like that. But everybody else is around. C. Thomas Howell. Eric Red is on Facebook. He doesn't fucking respond to any messages or anything, but if you pay him some money, he'll probably talk about the movie. Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell. Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.